Fitin10 Nation, it is day 61, and am I centered? Kind of, sort of. It's over here. Okay, whatever. Day 61, 9 days to go. 9 days, we are in the single digits in terms of days left. This challenge flies by. I'm always shocked. Even though this is my 13th challenge, this is the 13th Fitin10, I'm still shocked by how fast it goes. Okay, I want to share something with you that Lori, one of your fellow Fitin10 participants, she shared with me. She bought me a small container of this very good dry cottage cheese. And when I got it, I thought, you know what, this is dry cottage cheese. I've had dry cottage cheese before, and it is very good. But this one in particular is actually even better than a regular dry cottage cheese. It's called Cottage Dreams Gourmet Cottage Cheese, and it's by, I believe it's by Vito Dairy. It's local as well, and it's a very good, looks like that. It's very good because it's got minimal ingredients. The ingredients in this are partially skimmed milk and bacterial culture. That's it. It is super, super good, and it's actually quite a bit better tasting than just regular dry cottage cheese. And again, with minimal ingredients. So this is a really, really great find. I'm definitely going to be eating more of this. If you like cheese with minimal calories, this is a great way to go. And it's basically pure protein, okay? Yeah, there's a little bit of fat and carbohydrates in here, but not much, okay? So in 125 grams, you've got 1.5 grams of fat, so it's very low in fat, and you've got 4 grams of sugar. Obviously, this is coming from milk. This is obviously not lactose-free. And you've got 18 grams of protein, okay? Super, super good. So, Cottage Dreams by Vito Dairy. Super good. And, you know, just while we're on the subject, protein, you know, you guys always hear me saying protein, eat your protein. Protein is, you know, one of the best things you can do is to increase your protein if you're trying to lose weight. And, you know, I want to remind you for the reasons, or at least some of the reasons, why this is so important. And number one is protein is highly satiating. It is the most satiating macronutrient. Number two, it has the highest thermic effect. That is, it has the highest digestive cost. Approximately 30% of the energy that comes along with whatever source of protein you're eating, 30% of that energy goes towards digestion of the food. So you're burning a lot of energy just to digest it. Okay, and of course it's going to help to support muscle mass. This is obviously under the understanding too, you're getting enough calories, because if you don't have enough calories, or your calories are really, really too low, you're going to burn through more protein for energy, which we don't want. This is only good. Protein is only good for doing its job at muscle recovery and muscle maintenance if there's enough energy there, okay? So protein, and there's many other reasons, right? Not to mention that about half of what protein is made of, generally speaking, well, let's not say that, but there are essential nutrients, right? There are essential amino acids, okay? Out of the 20 amino acids that exist, you know, 9 of them, arguably 9 of them, definitely 8 of them are essential, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, more questions. Protein every meal. I'm serious. Protein every single meal. Try to get at least depending on your size, get at least 15 grams of protein in a meal. Okay, if not more. If you're a larger person, 20 to 25 grams. All right, questions. More of your questions. Where are they? Okay. I should also say this. I've gotten very few feedback, so I'm going to give it another day here, and then I'll start to name out names, which is like almost all of you, okay? I don't know why, but as the challenge seems to go on, people send less and less their feedback. Send it in. It's part of your accountability to me, okay? All right, name something specific you can improve upon for the following week. Going lower in squats. Yes, this person could go lower in squats for sure. Number 2, balancing when doing my Bulgarians. Okay, so just think when you're trying to balance on Bulgarians, think mainly 2 things. 1, make sure you put weight on the heel of the foot that is planted on the floor. Put your weight on the heel of that foot. Keep your hips back, meaning keep that anterior pelvic tilt. And try to squeeze the bum as much as you can the whole time on that working leg, and that will help to stabilize you. If you're holding weight, keep the weight in close to you. If you don't have any weights in your hand, put your hands on your waist, okay? Name something specific you need help with. Bulgarians have a hard time balancing alone, holding the weights. Any pointers? Okay, so the ones I just mentioned. Okay, is there anything you'd like me to cover in this week's video series? Number 1, I've noticed that those that have a low body fat mass and those that are quite overweight tend to have a body temperature where they are hotter. Why is it that some of us are always feeling cold, except if you work out or drink or eat something hot? When does your body find balance? Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by the first point, though, that those that have low body fat and those that are quite overweight. I mean, I could come up with, I don't know if that's true. Generally, those with low body fat tend to feel cold. Oh, well, I shouldn't say that. I should say, if you have a lower body fat, you have less insulation. So, you'd think you'd feel colder. Okay, now obviously those that are overweight, they have more body mass. Yeah, their body temperature should be higher. They just have more mass. They have more insulation, they have more mass to move around. So that makes sense there. Those with lower body fats, never been the case with me. When my body fat goes lower, I tend just to get colder. I think that's probably primarily 2 reasons: less insulation, and probably there's some stuff going on where my metabolic rate's probably dropping to some degree. Okay, why is it that some of us are always feeling cold, except if you work out or drink something hot? Okay, well, if you drink something hot, you're putting something hot into your body. You're putting something into your body that's higher than your body temperature. So that heat has to dissipate in your body, and your body's got to get rid of that heat, right? Because it's trying to maintain its internal temperature. So that makes sense. You're having something hot, you're going to feel hot. You will feel hot. Eating something or drinking something hot will raise your body temperature. Temporarily it will, okay? Because again, we're trying to find that happy medium of 37 degrees Celsius, right? Or, very close to that, the body's internal temperature. And then, after exercise, exercise raises your metabolic rate, right? So like you're doing stuff, and when you do stuff, okay, you're doing lots of physical stuff. When you do lots of physical stuff, the energy has to come from somewhere. So the body has to do stuff to, make stuff happen. And that's energy requiring. And when energy is demanded for, the body has to produce it. And in order for it to produce, it's doing work. And that work is going to produce heat, right? That's really what energy is. This is a measure of heat. So, you can just think of it this way. When the body has to do stuff, it's got to burn more energy. When the body has to do stuff, it's going to burn more energy, right? This is one reason why I tell you no form of exercise will make you fat, right? Including lifting weights, okay? Doesn't happen, doesn't make any sense, okay? Even after exercise, even though you're not doing the stuff anymore per se, there's still stuff in the background that's settling down. There's still some level of recovery. There's probably still some level of extra blood flow. There's still some, you put out a fire, for instance, that fire is still kind of happening, right? It takes a while for the heat to come down, for everything to get back to its original state, right? Or its it takes time for the fire to cool, so to speak. Okay, so and weight training is actually one of these activities where the recovery is happening for quite a long time, right? For a couple days. So that's got to elevate your metabolic rate for an extended period of time. How much? I'm not sure. Probably not excessively, but when you're weight training regularly, you're going to have an increased metabolic rate for sure. Okay. You probably more so than if you just went for a jog, okay? Because the recovery required from weight training is that much more. Okay, so when does your body find the balance? Depends on the circumstances. Depends on the circumstances, really, okay? I know that doesn't really help you, but are you listen, there are cases where people tend to be colder, especially those who have, let's say, a hypothyroid. Okay, in the case of a hypothyroid, you have a reduced metabolic rate. You'll have less energy production. You'll feel like you have less energy if you have that. You'll also feel cold. Again, but there's less energy production happening. Okay. So let me know if I've answered your question on that. Okay. There's probably a lot more I could say on that, but. Okay, number 2. I'm already 11.5 minutes. Really? Okay. I don't know where the time goes sometimes. All right. Message of the day. What is the secret in all of this? What is the secret in what we're doing? What is the secret? What is the secret? What do you think a secret is? 2 things, really. In general. Being consistent and being reasonable. Okay, now there's some nuances to that, but being consistent and reasonable, that's what you ought to be and should be, and what you need to continue remembering to be if you want to keep a handle on your fat loss or your body, the maintenance of your body weight. It has to be lifestyle, because you are a reflection of what you do. So if you stop doing what you're doing, you'll just become a reflection of the new stuff you start doing. Okay, so it's got to be lifestyle based, which means it needs to be ongoing, right? Which means, hence the word consistent, right? And it's got to be reasonable, because if it's not reasonable, you can't sustain it. It can't be lifestyle based. It's got to be consistent and reasonable. Consistent and reasonable. It has to work for you on an ongoing basis, okay? Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude. I'll talk to you all very soon. See you guys.